Welcome back to our Simplify IT with Intersight series. In this video, we're going to discuss policy-based hardware configurations. Now, when we take a look at policy-based hardware configuration, you have to take into account hybrid cloud design. As part of a hybrid cloud design, most people will be deploying our UCSX system. But as some of you may already know, matching the hardware configuration to business needs and business intent can be cumbersome. So let's take a look at using policy-based configurations to define intent on our hardware. Some of the things that will need to be configured are fabric interconnect configurations, such as connections to your LAN and SAN, but also configurations for IP pools, addressing, so on and so forth. What about power connections? Do we have the ability to modify our redundancy settings? Absolutely. What about fiber channel and Ethernet uplinks connecting to our LAN and SAN? We've got to be able to also modify interface and speed and duplex, but also the roles of those interfaces. If you remember things such as a server port role or a Ethernet uplink port role, these are very important because these are creating things like trunk links for us traditionally. Chassis Ethernet connections, we have to be able to configure the fabric extenders or the input-output modules on the back of our chassis. And last but not least, we also have to have segmentation with things like VLANs for our Ethernet network, vSANs for our storage network, and then also disjoint layer 2 domains in the event that we want a customized configuration where one uplink might be using one subset of VLANs and the other interface will be using a whole nother subset of VLANs. Now, shifting over to the Intersight Dashboard, Cisco has made this very easy for us by allowing us to create profiles in the form of a UCS domain profile, which will configure all of our networking and fabric interconnect configuration, and our UCS chassis profiles, which is going to allow us to configure our power options and power redundancy options. So as we create a UCS chassis profile, what you'll notice is there's policies that we can create to modify our SIMC access, power redundancy, SNMP configurations, and even thermal options for our fans, fan speeds and cooling, so on and so forth. As you can see, shifting over to the domain profile, right off the bat, we see our VLANs and vSAN configurations. Now, what's very neat is these are the configurations for the uplinks. By the way, we do support disjoint layer 2 domains, so these VLANs could absolutely be different. Our Ethernet ports over here, our server ports, all configured now with a port policy. And the last thing that we want to show you is the actual domain configuration itself. So these are all the things that we use to set up in a fabric interconnect or on a chassis, all wrapped within two very nice and neat wizards. Intersight will use these wizards to make it easy to match your physical hardware using your policy-based configuration.